Heroes, gather tribute and earn my favor.
What the fuck was that?
That was actual game footage.
All right, I guess we're live now, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that was Rotz's first time seeing that.
Yeah, that is literally the first time I've seen that, and that's a work of art.
Yeah.
It was completely natural. Happened in Hero League
In
game.
game.
Yeah.
Yep.
We didn't spend an hour.
Team
filming
league
it.
game.
I really should figure out how to incorporate that Chen glitch I managed to pull off into the Heroes Power Hour opening somehow.
That's the one where the
Gen glitch?
flying kicks and just twitches around.
Flying kick glitch, I managed to pull that off in a game. It was
Nice.
a thing of beauty. And then some jerk Artanis swapped me out of it.
Is it the one where they like swap and they float to heaven or something?
Yeah. That was well. We were kind of like going down the lane. We weren't really going up, but yeah, it was something magical.
Yeah, I think that was on Hot's WTF moments where Chen tries to jump kick the Morales medevac, and then he ends up twitching all the way across the screen, all across the map.
I don't know if that's still possible, but I'm going to try to make that happen now.
I gotta find that before the show's over.
Well, they do like
One of the
Kerrigan
tips.
flies with Falstad all the time still. It's still
Yeah.
possible. It's still a thing.
Okay, and welcome to episode 83 of the Gankbush podcast, the only explicit Heroes of the Storm podcast made up of hosts of different play levels. For example, we have someone as low as a bronze type,
You can't say it.
No, you
Can't
Hold
say
your
it.
tongue, winch.
as a,
It's silver now.
the guy who cheated
Wait.
the system to get to gold, but he's still a silver bronze type.
Wait,
All the way up to a
Fringe the bronze
Grandmaster level
type?
player. We bring the latest HOTS news and discuss the latest tips and strategies so that you become a better player. Now, let's go ahead and introduce our. I talked so fast, no one said anything. Okay, so let's go ahead and introduce our bronze type player. That is Tower Baron, who's calling in from San Diego, California.
I don't think there's any bronze type players left. As you can
Yes,
clearly
there is.
see, there's this golden helmet. The lower left corner of my little screen here indicates gold.
Let's go ahead and
Great.
introduce our Grandmaster level player. That is Bacon, who's calling in from Atlanta, Georgia.
Hey, how you doing? I'm doing great.
Okay, let's go ahead and introduce our Diamond level player, who's still not a Master yet. That is Scott, who's calling in from San Francisco, California.
Yeah, I'm still working on that. Gonna hop aboard the Brightwing hype train and have her carry me to master. That's the plan.
Not Lucio.
Or Muradin?
The Brightwing with the Z build rework is legit now.
All right.
She's the top healer. She should be the what S rank or tier 1
Okay.
for
Well,
our rankings.
we'll definitely do rankings next week, probably. So we'll definitely do a deep dive into that.
Yeah.
I tend to disagree, but
She
we'll see.
might be nerfed by then.
all right. Let's go ahead and introduce our Platinum level player. That is Old Backpack, who's calling in from Abu Dhabi.
Hello.
Okay, and also as you can see, we have a special co-host this week. That is Zexerous.
Yes, you got it right.
Yeah, all right, there it is. And he is from the Heroes Power Hour. How you doing?
Doing fantastic. Thanks for having me on tonight. I've been actually looking forward to this since Bacon threw the idea out at me during the other day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah. I was like, Zex said he was probably free Wednesday night, so might as well give him a time. Invite him over.
Welcome, fellow gold player.
Ugh.
And Zex to explain, Tower Baron recently, like this season, boosted his Smurf. Like he's bronze on his main, and then boosted his Smurf into gold, and now he's a new man.
Well, actually, now the Smurf is the main account. My new Smurf now is gonna be my original account, the silver account.
Oh,
Really?
we gotta change your name then now.
Yeah.
It should be
Well-
Baron or Golden Baron or something. I don't know.
I like Golden Baron.
Golden Baron.
Oh, never mind. The shirt I got for BlizzCon, it's gonna say Tower Baron, so that's your main account, so you can't go back on it. So
Oh,
yeah.
you gotta wait till the next season before you change names. Kind of like the pros can't change teams mid-season.
Oh, you know what? Each account has one free name change. You can use that.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could change that to Tower Baron. So
Maybe I'll actually spell it right this time.
Oh, I can't even do that on my Smurfs because I had renamed them all like stupid things like dog farts and cat farts. So, like, I burned that chance because I do have a Smurf I'm working back up. So, just
Well,
to
if you
see
have-
what.
If you have
Just
a
to see
crisp
how-
$10 bill, you can probably change it too.
Yeah, not worth.
Wait, how many Smurfs are we talking about?
Oh, hey, you remember that Vulture promotion they did?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
got four Smurfs.
Nice.
Nice.
And then when they did that mega pack bundle after 2.0 dropped, I was like, okay.
Smurfs.
Yeah, that's pretty much when I got my Smurf too. The
Yeah,
10
me too.
superheroes.
So, Zexerous, are there any projects you want the listeners to know about, or about the about your podcast, the Heroes Power Hour?
Yeah, we're here. I'm one of the like you said, I'm one of the co-hosts on the Heroes Power Hour. I'm usually the one that streams the pre-show games on. You usually hear me complain about everything. We're on twitch.tv/Blizzpro Tuesday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific time. Past that, I've started a commentary team for Heroes of the Storm. Oh, you're playing that video. I love it.
Wow. It's like you're trying to merge into one.
But yeah, we've started a commentary team called Nexus Commentaries, and tomorrow we'll be casting the Division One Charity League Grand Finals. I'll be having Halloran on as a special co-caster that night. He's going to be doing the chair, the couch cast. So if anybody's familiar with Halloran, he was popularized early on by a wonderful couch he had that he casted off of. So that's exciting. And then we've got an announcement directly after the Division One finals. And recently we just jumped through all the hoops to start being able to cast TESPA games. So Heroes of the Dorm Proving Grounds and stuff like that. So we're pretty excited about that as well. So it's good stuff. Check us out, twitch.tv/Nexus Commentaries.
Yeah, and also his name is pronounced Halloran.
Oh, Lauren?
Yeah.
Is
so
Good thing I got that out of the way.
yeah, because he did the Creators of the Storm tournament
Yep.
4 months ago, and it's actually Halloran. So
Lauren.
yeah, learn that the hard way.
And you guys started the Nexus commentaries like 2 months ago, right?
About,
So-
yeah.
Yeah,
So-
things have been moving forward pretty quickly. That's pretty nice.
Yeah,
Congrats.
I'm pretty happy with the amount of growth. I thought we'd still be like, 50 followers and stuff like that. And like we're about 4 times that at this point. And we're like just south of like 230 or something like that. So I'm pretty happy with it for having no Blizzard support or anything like that. No big names like pushing us. I mean, we got a random host from Trixler one night, and that weirded us out.
Wow.
So just we're casting cheerleading, and all of a sudden Trixler has hosted you to up to 400 viewers, and I'm like, how do you respond to that when you're just starting a new channel and like Trixler of all people suddenly hosts you? Your brain just kind of shuts down. So it's been fun. It's been a lot of fun, like working on casting and everything like that. And then there's nights where just really weird crap happens, like a Cho'Gall all-in comp. It didn't work.
No.
Well, it's a Cho'Gall comp. By default, doesn't work.
Well, the game, they
Imported
could have
support
defended.
runs Cho'Gall all the time.
Right, but this wasn't imported support. This was like a D3, a Division 3 team in Chairlift. So, like, their Cho'Gall kept all inning while the rest of the team backed to defend an all-in from the other team. It was like shades of Team Freedom, but worse, which is hard to do because I don't like Team Freedom. One might say I hate.
You don't. Okay.
Oh wow.
You hate
I'm
freedom. It's
sensing
like
a lot
Fringe
of
Average.
animosity.
Fringe
hate
Average
Yeah.
hates freedom.
Good. He's smart. He's the smartest one of you guys so far.
No, I just realized that NA is Silver League. That's all. I mean, you guys don't want to admit it, but the truth is the truth. But anyway, let's move on. So speaking of that, we do have. I created a Google Doc where we are doing like a March Madness bracket thing, I guess, where we pick the top two HEC teams, or the top two teams from each group that are participating at BlizzCon. So if you wanted to go and fill that out, you just go to our Discord channel and you can find the link to it and then participate if you want to participate. There's way too much Roll20 love. They get 3-0'd in every single match they play outside of Red Candace. But let's move on from that. So, we are on iTunes and Stitcher. So if you have a minute, please leave us a review and or subscribe to the show. Again, if you want to play with us, we have a channel called Win Time, one word, Win Time, in BNet. Also, as I said before, we have a Discord channel as well. If you have any emails, please email us at podcast@gankbushsquad.com. Also, we have a Patreon. It's patreon.com/gankbushsquad. If you would like to contribute to the show. That's already been done. So shirts have been made, and they will be sent out in a couple weeks. So that's good to know. Lastly is that it's not really HOTS related, but what's ended up, we all know what happened in Puerto Rico. So what I ended up doing was that instead of collecting the money from Patreon for the last 2 months, I actually sent it over to the American Red Cross. So, and as a donation of the show to help the people in Puerto Rico. So, if you have any money at all, those people still need a lot of help. So if you have any money at all, please give money to the Red Cross or another charity that helps out the people in Puerto Rico.
A bunch of assholes on camera talking about Heroes of the Storm raise money for some relief efforts. That's pretty amazing.
Sending our $5 from Patreon to Red Cross.
No, it's actually it's more than that,
man. Like,
it's
just
actually
donate.
It's actually quite a bit, actually. So
Yeah,
it's like
it matters.
So,
Gankbush Squad gives back.
Well, the thing is that we don't. We don't really the money's really. I'm really glad that people are contributing, but we don't really need it. The people in Puerto Rico need it way more than we do, and since our president won't help them, besides throwing paper towels at them, we need to chip in a little bit. So,
hey, there's a big ocean in between us and Puerto Rico.
Fringe.
Yeah, but
there's a lot of water. So much water.
Bro.
Too much water.
I had no idea what an island was until President Trump explained it to me.
exactly.
And God bless that man for making me more intelligent.
Yeah.
More smarter even.
But
Much
anyway,
smarts.
and also, Puerto Rico is a territory of the United States, so so it's kind of bullshit. But anyway, let's move on from that. So if you have any money at all, send it over to Puerto Rico. That'd be awesome. So, okay, so let's get on to the HOTS. We actually have a really good show for you. We're going to talk about Anna, the new map of the Russian one.
Say it.
Then we're gonna move
Say
on to Q build for
can-
Vala.
You can
Then we're
say
gonna
it. I
talk
believe
about,
in you.
the Nubkex
Mate.
Rhonda fiasco.
Mate.
And we're going to
It's a blood
briefly
sport
discuss
reference.
how bad Gale Force Esports is, and how it's probably Michael Udall's fault. So let's move on. So Bacon wanted to talk about Anna.
Yeah, so I was playing Anna a lot with the Heroes Power guys last night. Instead of doing a show, they were just doing a couple games, and they invited me along. And in a comp where on comms with a properly drafted team, Anna is a lot of fun. And I switched up my build from the last 2 weeks. Usually, I went the build where you go not piercing darts. What's the magazine on level 1 where you get the
Yeah,
triple
drop.
Q? And
Triple Q.
what ended up happening is I misread piercing darts because I thought piercing darts was a really crappy talent. And what
Hell
ended up
no.
happening was I realized is I read after hitting 10 heroes, Sleep Dart now hits 2 heroes and its range is increased by 50%. And then the second portion of the quest, I thought it was bugged and repeating the quest twice. So I thought it was Sleep Dart hits 4 targets and its range is increased by 100%.
No
But I
way.
didn't read its healing
No.
dart. So once I realized it was healing dart, it pierces 2 targets and its range is increased, I was like, this is the shit. So I've been spamming that. And once you complete the quest, there's the body blocking issue is really mitigated. You know,
Yeah.
you can heal a lot. You can chunk, like if you go doubles warrior frontline and you get a couple of stacks at level 16 for the concentrated doses, you can pump healing out nonstop. It's really crazy.
Good to see you coming around, Bacon. I think you said she was kind of mediocre. I think last few weeks,
she
right?
is mediocre, but she's fun to play.
No, she is really fun to play. You always kind of like the whole time you're just trying to hit the healing darts off. It's like there's no downtime with Anna, which is really cool. So
As
she's
long
still
as you
super
have
squishy
the wave
though.
clear, as long as you have the wave clear to make up for Anna's lack of it, I think she pairs pretty much with any support.
Yeah, and she's also
That's
really
my
good
opinion.
against if the other team has like a big pin cushion, as I call it, to get the sleeping darts off of, to get the quest complete as quick as you can. So I was playing against like an Asmodan or like a Stitches. You can just shoot them all. You're not even like trying to do effective sleeping darts. You're just trying to get the quest done. Because even just the first level, that those 10, getting the sleep dart that pierces and 50% range, that's huge because you're gonna just get the second half of that quest talent so much faster too. You just gotta like walk around that tank and just sleep them, just build up the quest because she does have those problems early on. She's pretty weak. Like she can't heal who she wants to, so you gotta just buff up that quest talent early on.
So Zex, I almost called you Rex for some reason. Zex, what do you think of Anna?
Did you say anal?
Did you say? Yeah. Did you say anal?
Anal.
I heard
I
that
said
anal.
What do you
Well,
think
if
of
I'm a
anal
kid,
first?
what do you think of
and then
anal?
What about Anna?
Well,
Okay.
Did I say anal? Did I really say anal?
You did.
You
it's
did
on
say
the
Freudian
feed.
slip.
You know what's
I
funny?
already
It's funny.
in-
No. What's funny is that I was texting in the chat, and I said that's a good threesome because someone said Chromie and Anna is fun, and then I said that's a good threesome. So maybe I had anal in the mind. So
To answer your question, it's trying to find the pitcher and not the catcher. So, but to answer your other question, no, Bacon was really landing some clutch heals on us last night, and I'm not the easiest tank to keep up with. I make a lot of stupid plays, or as I call it, being aggressive. So to be fair, there was one play that even I couldn't defend. The one where Charlie called me out, said that is the worst play I've ever seen you make in my life. When I was Diablo, I went in and I had no business going in, and I predictably just got obliterated for it. but the build that he listed is actually really, really strong. Now, there's an argument for like a straight grenade build.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've been seeing people take like airstrike and stuff like that, and it seems to get a ton of value.
Cooldown on that grenade's just too long though. It's what, 12 seconds? Like you're not gonna get that many off.
It's 16 and then -4 with the talent.
Are you talking about not that trait at level 4, right? Because you can get that trait grenade, right? That one's kind of crap.
Oh, the one where it applies 2 stacks of Shrike on to targets you hit?
No, the first talent you can pick on level 4, the one that gives you a grenade that you can use.
Oh no,
Yeah.
airstrike is garbage. I hate it.
Yeah.
Well, but if you're going grenade build, you need to go because it's a 4-second cooldown reduction passively.
Yeah,
Even if you
right.
don't use the airstrike feature, it's still 4 seconds off.
Yeah, that's true. But like the mind-numbing agent at 7 is just craps on mages. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's
Like
the one
what,
to go.
75 30 75% spell power reduction.
Yeah, that's right. This is insane.
That's there goes your Kel'Thuzad or your KT.
Yeah, and you
Or
get
even
it pretty
Sonya's.
early on too.
What's that?
You get it
Or
pretty
even
early
Sonya.
on.
Yeah, I mean, level 7 is just absolutely, insane for a talent that's potentially that strong, and then, like, when I did my preview video for Ana, I looked at concentrated doses, and I was just blown away by it. I'm like, that can't possibly be right, if you get like a 3-man grenade with the overdose on it, right there's that 60% bonus.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's just not right in my opinion.
Well, I think they're trying to offset that with the ability to hit your healing darts, right? They're like, well, it's not automatic. You got to hit the healing darts.
Yeah, then that's completely fair, and that's what makes Ana like a high risk, high reward play, type of hero. If you can't like hit your skill shots, then I mean, you're absolutely dead weight. But if you're hitting those darts and everything, I mean, bacon saved my bacon a lot of times last night. Like, there were situations where I swore I was dead, and somehow I had enough health, and then I repaid him by throwing him into enemy teammates on Garrosh.
Yeah, thanks for that.
You're welcome. We got hey, because they went after you because I chucked you over that wall. Jimmy got that godlike mosh pit off that everybody just walked into.
Yeah, it was a 3-man mosh pit that became a 5-man because people walked into it or something like that.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. But yeah, I think she's definitely gonna have a spot in the HGC. Like she's got too much utility despite her lack of wave clear.
Scott,
Okay.
how's that Ana play you've been seeing in Hero League?
I mean, I've only seen her in like 1 or 2 games so far, but she, I don't know. I mean, she's really kind of low key. Like her spells and abilities, I haven't played against her that much to really catch what's going on. The sleep dart is really strong though. That is extremely good at setting up for your team.
Yeah,
Or
three
even
seconds. 3 seconds
Yeah.
for them to like walk up and get her ready, like
Yeah,
proper
or to
position.
peel for somebody chasing your ally or something. It's extremely good.
Is
Level
anyone else
20
bothered
too.
by the fact that you can't see how many doses are on you as the person facing Ana?
Seriously?
Does it really matter? Because like you only need to know the amount of dot that's applied to you, and you already see that on your health bar.
Yeah, you
But, like,
can't
when-
see the amount for Lunara either, and she does 3 stacks.
Oh.
Yeah, but I feel
right.
like since Anna's doses reduce your spell power, it's nice to know how many are on you.
Yeah, that ability needs to be nerfed because you're able to keep that up on multiple heroes, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
with the grenade.
I mean, if you're not like under duress, you could potentially like keep that up on like 3 heroes fairly easily, reducing their spell power. And if unless they're auto attack heroes, which aren't very prevalent right now, you basically nullify like the majority of damage on their team.
Yeah. And
That's why I want the indicator. Go
since
ahead.
since Anna is paired with a double support, healing is not really an issue for the most part. So using grenade offensively is pretty much the way to go. Like using it on Sonya while she's spinning. So, she's 10% HP and then she does like the emergency spin to heal up. And you throw a grenade on her and just, auto attack her down. She can't do anything.
Okay. All right. So, all right. Is it from Anna or Anna, as one listener says in the thing? All right. So, All Backpack did a Dahaka video that got released today.
Yeah, that was because one of the I think it was on one of the what was it? It was the Dahaka video we posted earlier, and
The silver game, the silver level game for Dahaka
Yeah, silver
play.
game.
And they wanted an actual one. I think it was Lauren Wu was the actual person who
Yeah.
posted the comment requesting that from Old Backpack.
Yep. She said, "Hey, can we actually see a good Dahaka?" Like, why? Sure, I'll give you a good Dahaka.
Well, if
So
you
they
watched the
posted
video, the first part of that video wasn't a good Dahaka.
Well, I got outlaned really hard by Artanis because I didn't.
Yeah,
Well,
I
I
saw
had very
that.
little lane practice versus Artanis. That was kind of bad. But yeah, that's up there. And according to Tower Baron, the video that I post and the video that Chew8 posts are really similar.
Yeah, once
Which
I
makes me
posted
happy.
that video, like the related video is this Chew8, and it's exactly the same thing. It's a Dahaka replay analysis on the same map.
Yep.
So
Okay, well, there you go. So again, if you want, if you go to gankbushsquad.com, you'll find a link to the YouTube channel, and then if you go there, you go ahead and check it out. And if you like it, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel.
No, the important part is it's a Chew8 level of commentary from OBP.
yeah, they're saying kind of the same things, which was pretty cool. Like this, giving out the
Yeah.
same advice.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
like it's 2 Asian people. I mean, what do you want? It's the same thing. So, but all right. So let's move on. So the new map, the
Say it.
Russian
do it.
map that came out.
Say it.
So let's.
Volskaya.
There you go. So,
Says
but
the Asian guy.
You gotta have that on soundbite now. Play that when you
Borskaya.
say it.
so actually, since like the rotations like are so evenly spread out, I actually haven't had that much opportunities to play on this map yet. But well, let's get Zach's first on his thoughts on the map overall, and thoughts on the play style and so forth.
Well, it's already a billion times better than Hanamura ever was.
That's
It's
true.
just straight
Yeah.
up more fun. Even though I've only gotten to play one game on it, out of all the games I've played since the new patch dropped, I've only gotten one game in, which is like kind of annoying. But the one game I played was just an awful amount of fun. I had a blast. It was creative, and the strats around the conveyor belts are definitely going to come into play. We did have a Gazlo on our team, and who went the Clockwork Fists.
Oh,
So
Nice.
he at like one long contesting. If anybody on the other team like came past the midway point, it was on the bottom where they just keep going around and around and around. He had about 25 turrets set up. Anybody coming
Christ.
across that halfway point just got like instantly obliterated. And then we hit 20. And he took the laser talent.
All them fire lasers.
Each
Yeah.
turret shoots a laser at the same time.
Yes.
Fire in my laser.
Yeah.
It would insta-give somebody if he landed it.
So I guess if you're at a lower level, like maybe gold or below, Gazlo's a pretty good character on that map.
Well, he's got to hit something to keep his turrets up, right? He's got to be punching something.
Right. Well, and the thing about that map is there is a lot of team fights that go on around the capture points. So he had no problem keeping his turrets up. So it was pretty funny.
He doesn't need Viagra to keep his turrets up.
No, he doesn't.
If your turrets last for longer than 4 hours, call a doctor. Call
He's
me.
going to hit other people.
He doesn't
Yeah.
need that
He's
shit. He
eating-
got a robo dick.
He's eating a lot of watermelon apparently. Okay,
Oh, wow.
so
Watermelon.
all right, let's so
Wait, it's pineapple, right?
no pineapple makes it taste better, but watermelon gives you it works. It helps you get boners. We'll put it that way.
Okay, you gotta be sly. You couldn't do it.
So there you go. But all right. So Bacon, what do you think about the new map? And like, is it do you think it's like a conventional map or?
Wait, have you played on it yet?
Yes, I have.
All right, because last week we none of us got to play on it after trying to play on it for like 2 days in a row.
Yeah, but I like it. I like it a lot. It's big enough that where the split push thing actually becomes a mechanic, and there's different lanes have different priorities because the top lane is the Merc camp that pushes, and then the other, there's like different points in the map that have different that you can contest for. Like there's the support camp that's a pretty high priority that you want to probably get before an objective spawns. There's I just learned recently from the Nexus trolls, and I don't know if this is true or not, but apparently the order is middle objective, top, and then bottom, and then it repeats that cycle. So it's middle, top, bottom. So
Should be
like
random
if
though.
you're a
Isn't
Gaslo
that kinda...
player or a Probius player, then you can anticipate what the next objective is going to be and where it's going to be, where the next objective is going to be, and set up beforehand. Which is pretty
That's cool.
That kind of undermines the whole thing. That it's supposed to be somewhat random, right? I don't think there's any other map where it's that predictable. You know exactly where it's going to be. Even Curse Hall, you just know a general area, right?
No, there's some RNG to Cursed Hollow, but then you can also guess where it's going to be or know exactly where it's going to be next based on like the previous two. So there is some guesswork that goes into that, but yeah, I like it a lot. The Protector is not super overpowered. I think there's a good balance to it. It's pretty weak earlier on, so it's weak at pushing.
Does a ton of hero damage though.
Yeah.
The hero damage is ridiculous.
But if you kind of play it like the Punisher and just kind of stand behind the gate and DPS it down while your teammates go to other lanes and try to get soak, it's pretty viable to do it, pre-10 to keep even.
Well, the Protector has that shield, right? The E or whatever. That's pretty strong, I think. And that applies to everyone who's around him. So I thought that was pretty strong. I mean,
It's a later game thing, though. Early game, you want to split push. 3-10.
Yeah.
Yeah. Surprisingly, Probius, the objective is a lot of fighting, long drawn out fights in one place, but Probius has one of the worst win rates on the map. And what I think it is because of the conveyor belts, because it makes it so that the enemy team can position quickly and flank the Probius and get shots off and kill the Probius before he has a chance to respond.
Yeah, there's too many angles of approach.
Yeah. It's a rather open map, too, so you can come in from any side you want.
And the worst hero on that map is the Haka, apparently, because there's not a lot of bushes.
I noticed that too, because you can't brush
Yeah.
talk into anywhere.
Well,
Yeah.
I
Oddly
would
enough,
argue that it's better to have less bush.
I also agree. on what you're trying to say, I guess.
Yes. Well, also it's good to have Dahaka bad on a map finally.
Yeah. Those fights on the
he's
conveyor
bad
belt are kind
most
of crazy
two-lane
though.
maps. It's not like he's completely dominant in the entire map pool. He's also
He,
pretty map
yeah.
prone.
No, he's good on
plays
Braxis.
BOE.
He's good on BOE. I mean,
yeah.
He's not good on
He's bad on-
BOE.
Yeah, he is.
he's picked in the
Yeah, he
HCC.
is. What are you talking about?
He's not good, but he's not bad either.
Yeah.
No, he's picked in HGC, at least in Europe anyway.
Yeah.
The supreme
It's
region
not his
for
best
HOTS.
map, but he's not bad either.
Yeah, he's not really good on BLE.
Yeah, it's kind of rough for him to get stacks back if he uses his essence.
Well, that's actually
He'll
the map
lose.
that old Backpack had his replay on. So
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So,
Do you
I
guys
mean-
think it'll be seen on HGC?
no. I think we said this already, right? Or no?
Well, that was your strong opinion.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah,
I
I say
want
no.
there to be. I want to see like some crazy conveyor belt
Yeah.
fight.
I want
Actually,
to.
no, it's not going to be on HGC because at BlizzCon, because the map pools are already set, right?
No, I
Well,
mean like
one
I mean like a year from now.
No, like
Oh.
a couple months from now, they're gonna vote on the map pool again. And do you think the players are gonna vote for it, the pro players?
I don't know which map's going to be voted out. I don't
Warhead
even-
Junction.
Is
Yeah, I
Warhead
say-
Junction part of the map pool? I
Yeah.
can see
Yeah.
that be voted out. Yeah.
If Warhead Junction can make it in, Volskaya can make it in.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I hate not counting Garden of Terror. Like I hate playing on Warhead. Like the only way to get that map over and done with quickly is just like all in.
That is true. And that's what most pros do when they pick Warhead. They do like some kind of cheese strat where they try to zerg the boss and grab a couple nukes and get a
Yep.
keep off or a core off of it.
Yeah. Win in 5 minutes.
Roll 20, 5 minutes, 12 seconds.
Yep.
Yeah.
Roll 20. Just keep saying them.
20.
But it's funny how one of the largest maps has one of the fastest game times. Yeah.
Didn't Fnatic had the previous record? Was that also on Warhead, or
I
was that
think-
on Battlefield?
Battlefield or Braxis. It was one of the 2-lane maps. Yeah. But
well,
there's with the protector you can shuffle people in and out, so like there's a lot of cooldown management and things like that you can do. Have one person in, pop out, tank a lot of damage or use cooldowns, pop back in, and you can rotate players in and out. I think in terms of the Gen or Hero League, yeah, we'll just play it and enjoy it. But I think there's the potential of maximizing the protector. It's not gonna be, I guess, reached
no.
until HGC gets their hands on it.
It's going to have to go through some iterations because the damage potential of the protector is stupid ridiculous, especially in the pro hands.
Yeah.
okay. All right. So, are we done with the map?
Please say its name.
Okay, we're done
The
with the
map.
map. So,
How come you won't
Called
say it?
the map.
moving
I
on.
don't understand. Is it
Volskaya.
because is this something to do with your dyslexic thingy?
Nope.
Yeah.
No. So moving on to
Skyable.
Vala. So this is this particular show. This particular topic has been on the docket for at least 3-4 weeks now. So we apologize that this hasn't been talked about sooner. But
Who requested
wanted-
it? It said a win timer. Who was it?
Well,
Do you
I
remember?
believe it was Perholzia who asked for it.
I think it was Tattle Spike actually asked for it.
Tattle
So it
Spike,
doesn't
okay.
matter.
Well-
It doesn't matter. But either way, I mean, I had it on before they brought it up. Anyway, let's. So basically, if you've been watching the HUC in Europe specifically, is that you've been seeing that Q build Vala has been pretty much the go-to talent build for the most part, other than like maybe like a wave clear map, like Tomb of the Spark Queen. But why is the Q build Vala the now de facto build now for Vala in most situations? Let's go to Scott on this.
The Q build is the top build right now because it is the safe build to deal good damage. You don't have to be in auto attack range constantly. You could go and throw your Q, strafe, do another Q, and it puts out solid damage, good burst. The auto attack W build pretty much died with the Ariel nerf, and it was kind of on the downslide the past couple months before that too.
Yeah, that's true. And also, the meta is really dive heavy and isolation based. So isolate a target, kill him, and continue the team fight with a mana advantage. So Stitches, Garrosh, etc. Those are the popular tanks right now, and they also specialize in doing that kind of isolating one hero and pick him off. So Vala has a kind of a short attack range, so with the W build, and Scott had a good point of the death of Ariel with that nerf, so she has poor sustain. And am I getting a lot of air from Zexerous?
Is it raining outside?
Yeah, who is that?
That is probably me. That is my AC. I will be right back.
Okay. I thought we were like really in the
Somebody
middle of
was
like a
just,
film
like,
noir right now or something.
Breathing into the microphone. Air conditioning.
Right.
It's fall and it's like 7 o'clock. Where's he
But,
living?
so also in the chat, they said that Loxley said that the Q build is really good for bosses. Also,
it is.
Seal
I thought
says
it was
that
originally
it
a
allows
PoE
her
build,
to
I thought.
solo camp, and then also Hero Physio said that this topic was on the show notes when he was on like 3 weeks ago. So boom,
Yeah.
in your face. Yeah,
Who was no one was arguing about that.
I was arguing with myself.
Okay.
So-
And with the dive meta, the Vala takes a long time with the W build to get her damage up, and it kind of feels bad to use her W early unless before she is stacked all the way to 10 hatred stacks. So with the Q build Vala, it lets you do QEQ with a W like immediately 1 second after the team fight starts, and get your damage out, walk away, or do a little bit of poking in and out, and then go back in like 8 seconds later and do the same thing. So it's the damage is front heavy. That way she can get in, do the damage, and get out and stay safe.
So you should deviate to the W build only when you need wave clear, right? So basically like on Tomb of the Spire Queen, or if your team comp is lacking wave clear, right?
No. Even if your team is lacking wave clear, that shouldn't make you decide what build to go. I mean, her wave clear is going to be worse going Q build. But I mean, even if you go the Q build with Monster Hunter at level 1, you could use that on the waves and it'll help a little bit. But sacrificing the Q build to be more auto attack reliant to keep your stacks up, if the enemy team, has a dive comp and you only have one support to keep you alive, you're not going to put out the damage in team fights to make up for having better wave clear. You're going to lose the game through team fighting eventually. So your wave clear won't matter.
What about on, as Seal points out, what about on Infernal Shrines? Is the W build more viable on that map?
Yeah. Because when you're fighting around shrines, you have a constant source of minions to attack to keep your stacks up for your hatred. Yeah. So it's more viable.
Okay.
But
What about in double support comps? Is the Q build just as viable for Vala? And if you're facing a double support comp?
Hero Fizzy has a good point about that W build is out healed now from double support comps.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So you should read what he wrote. He says that W build does more spread damage, and so if they have weak AOE healing, then W build is better, because then the support is pressured to heal all the targets. But if it's double support, the AOE spread damage gets healed up by the various healers.
Oh, okay. All right.
So more burst, more concentrated damage, more Q.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how do you guys feel about Gloom instead of siphoning Arrow?
If you're getting dived, you need it.
Siphoning Arrow heals for a lot.
Yeah, especially if you buffed up those first 2 talents.
I think that's worth it over Gloom pretty much
Well,
every time, unless the enemy team has like
Hunt.
the hunt.
Yeah. Illidan
Or
Hunt,
Illidan.
things like that.
I'd say like maybe against like a Chromie or something.
Yeah.
If they're very heavily spell damage based, and if you got double support going, Gloom could be better most of the time if you got double support on your team. So you're not relying on the heals, you're just trying not to die and get bursted.
Well, usually if you go Vala, you're the main source of damage, so if you don't trust your healers or you really need to stay alive, then you need to go Gloom. What was the laughter about?
I don't know. I've never even picked Gloom before. I've always gone Siphoning Arrow.
Oh, yeah.
It's like I actually got to look up that talent. Like, what the hell is Gloom? I mean, because I used Vala to level up all the way to gold on my Smurf.
That's our a gold type player or whatever gold player who doesn't know what Gloom is, and he plays Vala all the time. So
yeah, I mean, I
there you
thought that was a crap talent. Actually, I mean, Vala's goal is to do damage. It's.
Oh yeah.
The other talents at that level don't do damage. They're all survivability talents.
True. They're survivability talents, but.
Well, what was your point about Vala doing damage then?
No,
point has no bearing on that talent tier.
Well, it will do damage because you have to follow out your Q to get life back. There's not really a big, I think, saving factor with Gloom. I think
there's a huge saving factor. You can get 50% spell armor.
Yeah. Chromie time
or 5 seconds.
Okay, yeah, the Chromie time trap.
The time loop or whatever.
I get that. Okay,
you get rooted and the enemy team's mage is about to blow you up.
Your life is so low. Does that really actually help you though?
50% spell armor.
50% spell armor. Are you crazy?
Of the damage in the game is spell armor or is spell damage.
Man, all right. I'll have to try that one out. That's all I gotta say.
Well, the lower level you go, the less coordinated it is. So maybe there's less value there. But the higher you go, if Illidan is hunting a target, usually the rest of the team is trying to follow up on that. And if you're the Vala on, if Illidan is hunting a Vala, then you definitely want Gloom to try to mitigate that damage and survive it. 5 seconds of 50% spell armor is an ass ton of armor.
I mean, just in general, I just try not to take defensive talents on ranged assassins. That's why I kind of just grouped it into that. That was just a defensive talent. I always try to pick more of the offensive, even if there's not really a choice between multiple talents on the same tier. I always just kind of shy away from the defensive talents on the.
It's a survivability tier. Like all the talents are geared towards survivability. There is nothing that is going to make you deal more damage.
Zex, you take Gloom, right?
I don't play Vala.
Oh.
Okay.
I tank. That's my job. I get in people's faces.
Also, as Hero Physio says that. Never mind. I can't say that yet. Hero hasn't. Never mind. Hasn't made that public yet. But anyway, so Hero Physio says that if KT goes Pyroblast, you should go Gloom.
Oh, okay, yeah, you guys That's a good point, I guess, with the Chromie too.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I haven't encountered that scenario.
So
Think
but,
about that.
Most damage you take nowadays is so ability, damage heavy.
Yeah, especially the stuff that kills you when you get bursted down. That's usually maybe like 75% ability damage. The auto attacks damage comes out slow.
Yep.
Okay, so all right, so let's move on. So Old Backpack wanted to discuss the Nubkex Tyrande fiasco.
Yes.
And before Pat goes into it, I've already tweeted at Nubkex, and I told him that we are, at least I'm on his side. But go ahead, Old Backpack, and introduce the topic.
Certainly. So Nubchet's someone that we appreciate on the show.
No, he's been on the show.
Video.
He's been on the show. He's been a guest.
He has. I know he has, and he's good. He has good content that I like. And he actually made his first little podcasty type video where he discusses game design and how Tyrande has become bad game design. And he points it out, most specifically, it's the owl build. And it's unfun because there's no really way to play around it. And he goes to describe what good game design is. And he starts something with like ETC's Mosh Pit. It's very powerful, but it's also very telegraphed. So when it happens to you, you feel like you made a mistake and that you can improve your play to avoid it. But with things like the owl, you're just getting a champ and boom, an owl hits you. You feel like the victim of a stray bullet. It's like, what the hell was that? It's a very bad to play against. And if you think about historically where the owls come from, the owl was supposed to be just a scouting tool, which did a little bit of damage, but mostly for the sight. And now it's become her main damage ability. And you can see a Tyrande doing top damage very easily with his ability. Just to show how abusive it is, you can watch the Fnatic versus Zealots game, where Tyrande solo defends the core with just owl build.
Yeah, I
It's
mentioned
ridiculous.
that a week or two ago, and the owl build's been nerfed since then.
Yeah, it's been nerfed, but the only thing they nerfed was the 2-second default reduction. So it's still 4-second reduced per hero hit. It's still a shit ton of owls. But it's just bad game design in that there's no way to really gain counterplay. And Nubtits got a lot of flaming for this. So people say, you noob, watch the minimap. And then Nubtits goes to show that if it's in the fog of war, you can't see it. Your only minimap awareness comes once it enters your field of vision. So there is no real counterplay to it. You just become a victim of an owl.
Well, you don't stand where the owls are gonna be. If
but
if you're
that's
doing
the counterplay.
Yeah, that's the counterplay. Like, say you're doing boss, right?
Don't do boss.
And they know you're doing boss. Maybe instead of standing right on top of the boss, you should stand slightly to the side, and it goes right past you. Don't
if you're a
stack
melee
up
hero.
in a line so that if one of you gets hit, multiple people get hit.
Yeah, but is that really good play experience? Hey guys, let's always watch for an owl at all points of the game.
And what about if you're interrupting something
if you
like
watch
Blackheart's Spade
the
turning or
pros
something?
play, the pros are constantly moving, like whether there's anybody there or not. They're constantly stutter stepping and moving around, just in case shit comes and hits you. And that's really apparent with the owl build where, that's a legit concern.
But should you be constantly stutter stepping when you're in your base?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the whole point of it.
The issue is it's easy to throw an owl, but it takes a lot more work to counterplay the owl.
And it does too much damage. It ramps up to I think it's not capped, right?
Part of the damage portion is
when one player can just throw out one ability every 15 seconds or whatever the cooldown is, and just fire it and forget. And the rest of the enemy team has to spend the entire game worrying about an owl, especially during the late game. It's the amount of effort put into the game is heavily in favor of the Tyrande.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that's making her viable right now is that build.
I think what the actual counterplay is let the Tyrande stack up so high it causes an overflow in the memory, and it just crashes the game.
I like this.
Shit.
I mean,
Scott,
she's good.
you were talking about the Fnatic game where the Tyrande
Yeah.
held 1v5, and like if a Tyrande's gonna hold 1v5, that means also throughout that game she's stacked that many times to even do that much damage to defend the core. So that means pros are also getting hit and ass ton throughout that game too.
Well,
They're noobs and they should get good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
those
like-
noobs.
all just like-
Now
Dude,
there
this
comes
is-
a point of if the owl is traveling throughout the map and you have vision the entire way, yeah, you can anticipate where it's gonna be. But if it doesn't show in the fog of war and then it shows up and it's half a screen away, it's like a quarter of a second reaction time, and then a quarter of a second to get out of the way. It might be too late. It's a little bit unfair.
No, like I think 2-Ton Yoda said this in chat is that low skills causing huge damage is bad game design.
Yep.
It's
exactly.
not low level skill. Like, how many times do you have to hit that owl the entire game to get that damage to be significant?
I mean,
You guys are like
let's be
downplaying the
honest.
fact
You
that
just kinda-
somebody's got you've hit like
just kinda
60
aim it and
people.
fire it.
Yeah, it's not that hard.
Yeah, I mean, especially if
It's not like
you
if
have
you see like an
objective
open merc
type,
camp,
maps.
you see like an open merc camp available, you just fire at the merc camp because you think that someone's going to be there. I mean, it's not that hard to look at the mini map
someone's
and
trying
say,
to turn in or something.
yeah, it's not like I don't think it's as hard as it sounds.
Yeah, but that's why when you're playing against a Toronto, you be mindful. It's like, okay, normally people stand here when you're doing a merc camp. I'm gonna stand, Diablo's circle width away, and that owl will miss me, hopefully, because they're gonna think I'm here and I'm slightly off.
Now, is that fair to have the player have amazing awareness for an easy skill shot? That's what it keeps coming back to, because it doesn't feel fair.
Yeah, it
The
doesn't.
equation is completely in Tyrande's favor. Because what happens is if you're mindful and dodge the owl, well, the Tyrande literally didn't lose anything. She just lost a little bit of mana because, as you hit more owls, it
No,
becomes
she
free.
didn't lose any mana because
Yeah, it's
look
free.
in the game, it's free.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So even there, even lower cost for
It's even
Toronto.
a lower skill.
Nupcakes was talking about it incentivizes Tyrande to constantly throw out owls because there's only benefits to, using the cooldown, and there's no benefit to counter dodging owls over the course of the game because all you do, okay, I guess I didn't take as much damage as I should have. That's all there is
Right,
to
right.
it when the enemy players are counterplaying that.
Right, so what's the fix? Are we gonna play like a hoot sound when the owl gets cast, so everyone
I
on
think
the map can hear it?
have it show up on the minimap the entire way.
No,
Yeah.
you can't do that. That
No, you can't do
completely
that.
that's a humongous nerf. That's gonna completely derail that build's viability.
That's gonna give away her
So,
position. That gives
here-
away.
Well,
her
you might as well
position.
have the owl not deal any damage at
Well,
that point.
Ben-
Just
Hold
be a
on.
huge scouting tool.
Here's my idea. The owl needs to. It does need to be revealed on the mini map, but not the whole distance. It needs to have a range. The bird needs to have a rangefinder around it, and when it comes into that rangefinder comes into contact with an enemy hero, like let's say it has a range of 5. We'll say 5. Okay, so a healthy range around when a hero enters that radius, then the bird gets revealed. It's enough time to give you a heads up to try to dodge, but it's not going to give away her position completely.
Yeah.
I would like just an audio cue, like an owl hoot that comes.
You're gonna hear hoots like every like 30 seconds.
The whole game is just gonna be. Whoo.
What if they line
Maybe
up
we'd
and
hate
Tyrande gets
the
like,
owl more.
like 5 in a row?
I mean,
Team
unless
wide,
you're
hero of the
playing
storm.
that app where you look at the minimap every 3 seconds. I mean, I'd rather just get alerted that there's an owl that's being thrown, and then you say, "Oh shit, let me just start moving around."
Now, if they,
So
my idea
Go ahead.
for having it show up on the minimap is, right, the original design for the owl was to have it scout. Now, if you're using it to scout bosses and merc camps and you send out an owl and the enemy team sees it coming and like, oh, let's leave the merc camp right now. well, there's still a couple of seconds before the mercs get back to their original positions and reset. So even if the owl flies over the merc cam, you can see, oh, there were a couple heroes there because the mercs are damaged, right? So the scouting is still done. Now, you might not see like exact information of who was there and how many heroes were there, but you can still see a portion of the enemy team was in this portion of the map, right? So the owl does its job, as in it's you scouted some of the map, and if the enemy team's not paying attention, then they get hit anyway. Like, and then it turns that owl into more of a mid-range kind of skill, because even if you're paying attention to the mini map during a team fight, it's kind of hard to dodge the owl regardless. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. You're right.
Blemsy's idea to fix Tyrande is to show more side ass.
That would make
Yeah.
her more fun to play against.
Yeah, it's got like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Make her
No,
dress
so like,
smaller.
so just
More
to fix
pop.
the whole like, how do you make the owl more fun to play against? Is give it the ability to have counterplay, and that is, as Zerots has said, either give you a sight radius around it, or as I was thinking, give it a still shot indicator, like Falstat's Call the Wildhammer. Like, there's a bit of a line that shows where it's going to be fired. So put a incoming, targeting indicator before it arrives. So you have like a second or a second and a half to respond and dodge it.
Only within your field of vision, though, right? Not
Yeah,
in
exactly,
Fog
yeah.
of War.
I mean, make sure you have about 1 second to react. This way it's on par with KT's Q, with Ring of Frost on Jaina, Nova's Precision Strike. These all have delays, so you, as the player, can respond to it. Right now, there's no real respond time to the owl. Instead of hope you have minions in front of you who give you sight of the owl coming your way, so you have a mini-map to help you dodge, even though I never dodge things on mini-maps. I dodge things on my character that I see. But
How about
Yep.
instead of trying to counterplay the owl build, you just team fight and get in close where the owl doesn't hurt?
well, the team fightings aren't always easy to force, because unless there's an objective there, teams just back away.
Yeah.
But I
I mean,
mean,
you
back
guys
to
are
the whole.
complaining that you're losing the macro game against her, that she's dealing too much damage. I mean, if that's the point, go back to your base and heal, or
The point
force
is
a fight.
the point is game design. It's bad game design.
So the thing is that I think everyone saw the Shwimpy game where it was 1v5 when he
That
was
was
surrounded.
awesome.
You know, well, that isn't that just indicative of enough? Like, no character should be able to do a 1v5,
Yeah.
Not it goes against the whole HOTS team.
right? So
Exactly.
I mean, that just pretty much cements it for me. Is that
Well,
like that
She
shouldn't
didn't
be able
really
to happen?
1v5. She just distracted the entire team.
Yeah,
'Cause
but
they were so focused on saving Chromie that they lost
avoiding
sight of
owls.
going to the core. If they went core and weren't that concerned about keeping Chromie alive in that game, they had a very good chance of winning.
I think, or they can also reduce the damage of the owls, but that's not
they
going to
can
happen.
do that too. Yeah,
Well, that's
Chris-
gonna happen anyway.
it
Like,
will.
It's gonna happen like in a couple weeks. I
What about
guarantee
just
it.
making owl skinny, like
Yeah.
Anna's sleeping
Oh.
dog?
Yeah, I agree.
Well, so is skinny
Then
better?
You're not going to hit anybody then.
How dare
Wait,
you?
let
Well,
Fringe talk.
that's the point. It's hard to still
if
shot.
you aim properly, then I mean you still get the stacks, but you still get the vision from the owl. For
If
scouting.
you're going to do that, you got to increase the flight speed by like 100%.
Scott,
Right.
you have a
Man.
hard on for Tyranda's owl. It seems like.
Yeah.
Like
It's
some of
the
that
only
side
thing
ass
that's making her
action.
viable.
Dude,
If you
yeah.
if you nerf that build, her win rate's going to drop maybe 1 or 2%, which isn't that big, but her play rate is going to go from what's it now, like maybe 15 to like 5.
But it's kind of like saying, hey, man, you nerfed Valera. Now Valera's not played anymore. Good. Because that was a bad way to have her play. It's a bad play style that's being abused because it's bad.
That
We
play
shouldn't
style
be
doesn't even
encouraging it.
come online until 13, and it doesn't
No,
even
but-
ramp up to like post 16.
But she's best levels 1 to 9. And when she's ganking people, then she gets better at 13.
Yeah, you got to go
She's
and
always good.
you got to work your strategy around it. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you.
No, but she's always good 1 to 9, and even better at 13. There's like
No.
it's-
Go double
wait.
support, and
Just
you
too much
can
damage.
get your you can heal up the poke.
So
Why are
See,
you
I see-
supporting
I-
this
I-
bad game design so hard?
Right.
Jesus.
I agree.
second.
I agree. It's bad game design, but at the same time, in my games too, there's enough counterplay, not just in Owl, but just get in our face.
So
Yeah.
most importantly, why is Bacon body shaming owls? What's up with that?
Yo,
Why
owls
you
have
doing
had it too good for too long. They need to go on fucking diets, all right?
So you want smaller hooters?
I want smaller hooters. I like small hooters.
All right.
Well, you're Asian, I get it.
I don't want no fat hooters.
It's the body shaming episode. So
Mhm.
God, what an uncultured savage he is.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
like
pretty soon all the,
pocket-sized Asians.
Pretty soon all the social justice wars are going to come out in support of owls now.
Yep.
Okay. But all right. So for the most part, I think we all, except for Scott, think it's bad game design. So, but
You just gotta
But
adjust the
I'm
damage.
on Scott's side in that there's enough like ways to play around it.
yes,
Yeah.
I agree with
And
that.
it mainly involves just going around bushes and ganking the fuck out of her. That way
Yes.
she can't shoot owls.
You can't nerf that build without buffing her in another way to compensate. She's
Yeah,
not
she
that
had-
good right now to justify just straight nerfing her.
She had E build before that was not bad. Like she was played before without the Owl build. She had the E build.
Oh God,
She
that was a-
wasn't that good. Her play rate was like a third of what it is now.
She was still played though.
Nah, she was shitty.
She wasn't as good, I agree, but because it's not saying when Falstad had his Tailwind bug, he was great. Don't nerf the Tailwind bug. He's played a lot now.
It's
Like,
not a bug.
popularity-
It's a play style that Blizzard came up with.
No, the point is that popularity doesn't demand it to exist.
It's they came up with and buffed it.
Yeah.
They
Uh,
nerfed it. They nerfed the cooldown from 4 seconds to 2 seconds on the base
Well, they
cooldown,
buffed-
which
they
reduces
buffed
the rate
slightly
you're
and
throwing it out a
They
lot.
buff first
and it
and then
reduces
they
the
nerf
stacking
slightly.
you're gonna get late game, and therefore it reduces the overall damage.
Let's move on. This is the end of
That side ass.
You
Yeah,
guys are
let's
like
talk about some side
whining
apps.
about like a build that isn't, super prevalent in that like her play percentage is like 15%.
It's time to move on.
She's
I think
got
we've
the
addressed
ability
it
to
well
just
now.
do
Okay.
insane
All right.
We have very
damage,
strong
though.
opinions, and we both share our own. That's
Okay.
that's a good thing.
all right. So let's move on. So a little bit of
I'll
HUC.
fix it all, guys. I'll fix it all. Here you go.
Oh, please do. Oh,
There you go,
yeah, that's what we needed.
yeah.
Oh yeah, baby. Hold on. Let's change it up.
Yeah, where's the skin? There we go.
There it is. Oh no,
Oh, there it is.
The fucking
There we
quiver's
go.
blocking it. There it is.
Side app.
Spin around, make her dizzy. Oh yeah, bend over.
I didn't even know you could do that.
Me neither. You can make him dizzy.
Yeah, I
you
yeah,
can
of course
make
you
him
can
dizzy.
do that.
You didn't know that?
Okay.
No, I've never made her dizzy
No,
before.
I've got to go now.
Yeah.
So if
Okay.
you-
So
If you go to any hero, right? Let's say
Mhm.
Ana, right? And then
Yeah.
you drag this and spin them around, they get dizzy.
yeah, you didn't know that?
No.
No.
I didn't
No.
know that either.
They all have the little animation.
That's good game design right there. That's fantastic game design.
All right. Let's move on now. Let's move on from this. All right. So a little bit of HUC.
Oh, let's do everybody.
Okay.
see
Yeah, I
everyone's
know. Let's see
Dizzy
more.
animation.
No. We're not doing that. All right.
No.
So we have a little bit of HUC stuff to talk about. So Playing Ducks is no longer Playing Ducks because they did not renew their contract with Playing Ducks. And for those of you who don't watch Europe, they're in the Crucible this weekend. But I would argue that they're the fourth best team in Europe. But anyway, Anyway, so they weren't paid for like the last 4 months, so they no longer are affiliated with Plain Ducks. So that's interesting. I don't know who CSGO are or
Counter-Strike Go, sir.
I don't know who these people are.
It's a game. Counter-Strike,
Counter-Strike Go.
Counter-Strike.
It's the newest
Counter-Strike?
version
Yeah,
of
the teams,
Counter-Strike.
the teams
Extremely
Counter-Strike
popular.
Go and Rainbow Six Siege teams.
Oh, okay.
They're games. But the Playing Ducks teams on Counter-Strike and Rainbow Six Siege, they both left
okay.
the organization as well.
Yeah. Well, so
Yes. So what? How much of this money are they not getting? Were they getting like a sponsorship from Playing Ducks, where they were getting money in addition to the Blizzard money, or is the Blizzard money getting routed through Playing Ducks to them? And what's going on with the cheers too?
no, I think it's independent. So I think the Blizzard has a contract with the 5 players of Plain Ducks, and then Plain Ducks. No, sorry. Yeah, and Plain Ducks pays the members of the team as well, right? So, and also the HGC cheer money probably gets distributed to Plain Ducks, which gets reallocated to the members of the team, which is kind of shitty, I think.
Yeah, I think the HGC's cheer, if your team has an organization, the money goes to the organization first, and then they divvy it out. So we don't know if Playing Ducks players got any of the cheer money.
Yep.
Yeah, that sucks.
But hey, you know what though?
Sounds like they didn't.
Yeah, but next season if they get past the Crucible, then I'll cheer for them for sure. So.
Yeah.
So another thing I want to talk about was, because I really don't like Gale Force, so I wanted to point this out. So Akaface, the support player for Gale Force Esports, was the most overrated team I've ever seen in my entire life in HOTS. He tweets out after they get destroyed by Tempo Storm, another shitty team.
3-0.
They get destroyed 3-0'd.
Yeah.
Akaface tweeted out, when you know a change is needed and nobody is on your side, and you see problems and no one thinks it's important to fix them. And then the first reply was from Rafflecopter, and he was also on Gale Force Esports before Fan was, and he left because of similar issues. Says, politics is greater than game knowledge. So this is basically like a year and a half of Gale Force Esports having tons of issues internally.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point, it's pretty obvious to me, as someone who is a complete outsider and knows nothing, it's Michael Udall's fault.
Michael Udall.
He
was a flaming guy.
Hey, I don't know
the
anything, but let me have this hot take.
he's the common denominator for all of this stuff. Like,
then
he's
if
been
we're,
there.
Then
for
if
the
we're gonna
entire
go
time.
that way, Fan's also the common denominator too.
Well, Fan came after. Well, Fan came, like a year ago, right? So, but anyway, so I don't know.
Do you have any information on Gale Force? Your opinions?
There was definitely something wrong with them. They completely fell apart. Like, I knew they weren't the number one team in NA, and they only got there at first because the rest of the division kind of fell asleep. But like, for them to just this complete collapse is like even beyond me. It was actually boggling.
Because on the surface, it seemed like they were practicing an ass ton. They were boot camping and doing all that. They were all in the same room for a while, practicing all day, and then they show up and do that, like get 3-0'd that hard.
This is what I'll say.
What do you guys think happened?
Just because you are boot camping doesn't mean it's being productive, though.
Oh yeah.
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 You could be at a boot camp and just watch, Rick and Morty all day, So
But we don't have X. All we know that is they boot camp, so we can't make any assumptions on how they boot camped, right? So on the surface,
I mean, their play sucked. I mean, how can you go to a boot camp and not get and look worse? How's that happen?
I mean, look at you. You play the game all day and you haven't improved. So
I don't play the game all day. I don't play that much anymore.
We can make we can make assumptions like that just based on that. So
well, I don't know. I mean,
saying,
Temple Storm's not that good though.
Like I agree with you. Gale Force sucks, and they sucked ass in their last showing, but we can't make assumptions on what they did inside practice.
Well, I think it's okay. I mean, I don't know. I think it's if the play looks worse, then I don't think it's that huge of a leap to think that their boot camp wasn't very productive. Put it that way. So, and also,
let's ask
fan.
Zexerous.
Also, one last thing is that Fan was streaming the other day, and he said that one of the problems that they had was that they don't have a coach.
A lot of NA teams don't have a coach. R20
okay.
doesn't have a coach. R20 doesn't have a coach.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because when we interviewed Justin, like he specifically, like we asked him about coaches or managers, and he's like, "Well, yeah, we don't have a coach." He's like, "I don't think we need one yet. You probably do."
Yeah.
Yeah, but Glaron's the coach, right?
Well,
I have no idea.
well, I think that a coach pretty much serves as a parental figure. You know.
Well,
Parental figure.
it's not only that, it's like they provide like data, so like the team can focus on mechanics. Like they do, the coach is supposed to be like the scout, the manager, and the parental figure all rolled in one person. They should be like scouting other teams, paying attention to what they're drafting, how they're drafting it, times the other team rotates, for ganks and stuff like that. There's a lot of stuff that goes into coaching that NA hasn't picked up on yet, and teams like Fnatic and Dignitas over in EU have. And that's I'm pretty sure Fnatic has a coach. I know Dunk was coaching Dignitas when they won Western Clash.
Dunk Train?
Dunk Train.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so like just having a coach will pay dividends if you listen to the damn coach. They're not there to stroke your ego. They're there to tell you what you're doing wrong and how to get better. Not, oh, it's okay. That guy was that Glorong is a noob and he's just playing like a jerk. Don't you worry about him, Fan. It's okay. I'm just using Fan as an example. I don't think like anybody would actually talk to me like that.
Now, coaches in the current esports scene, they're more of the classic coach. Like in StarCraft, the coach of the team does the coaching and like takes care of food and everything. It doesn't seem like the Heroes esports organization are much into doing that. But yeah, fucking A.
Now,
like the outside perspective is so important.
Well,
now because I have a long background in Dota, and a lot of the teams over there, the big teams like Navi, Mouse, those teams, they have a coach and a player manager separate. Like,
yeah, so that's what it
like
is.
EG had a Evil Geniuses had a coach, and then I believe for a time, and it wasn't their manager either, because I know their manager was Charlie Yang for a while, Monolith, and like he did an amazing job as their manager. Like it was really hard to compare like his ability to keep a team's like schedule and shit together in general. And obviously the year that, they won, they had an insane drafter in PPD and shit like that. And like not, you can overload a coach and make him just say, fuck this shit, I'm out, So, and that's why a lot of teams need to have that player manager and a coach.
But because the scene's so young, there's no money for that.
No. You're 100% right on that.
Well, I mean, Gale Force Esports is like in the top 5 of Cheers or whatever, right? I mean, I don't know how much money that is, but that's more than what Team Expert is getting, right? You know what I mean?
But
so
you can't have multiple. They can barely support themselves. Are you gonna have like one or two people like 2 more people on staff who are gonna do all that. That's crazy talk. Unless you're winning every single time.
Well, I mean, not to proliferate a stereotype, but they all live with their parents, right? I mean, don't they have moms that can do that shit?
GFP
Right?
moms,
Wow.
can you?
Isn't that mom and dad? Isn't that what they're
The
supposed
team
to?
mom.
Yeah. What the
Brains
fuck? I mean,
wants
they
to
live with their
bring back
parents.
The team mom.
Well, we know what kind of upbringing Fringe has had.
Yeah, I know.
Just ask
No, I mean,
mom
like-
to do everything.
I mean, if they need a cook, it's called mom and dad. They do it, right? Isn't that how it
Get a
works?
little bell. Just get your bell out. Ring the bell.
I mean, it's all good on paper, but as soon as you start adding these, positions, shit gets so expensive real quick, right? And
maybe when
these
maybe one
players
day
are
we'll
making
have
$20,000 a year, assuming you stay in for the whole year, and then whatever pocket change from the tournaments they get, unless you win the whole thing. Even then, it's not that huge.
Well, and the coaches, they have to be taken seriously. Like, I'm not gonna.
They're not.
I don't care how much. I don't care how much money you're gonna give me. If you hire me for a role, and then every time I make a suggestion, you tell me to get good, and shit like that, I'm gonna go do something else with my time. I got better shit to do. And that's what's happening. That's what happened to a lot of these coaches. Is there was actually a thread about NA a while ago on Reddit, discussing this very thing. That one coach for a team just walked because one of the players, I want to say it was Astral Authority. Somebody, I think it was on Astral Authority. Somebody said that I am not going to take any advice from you because you're not even near my rank. And at that point you just, okay, fuck it, I'm out. Just peace.
Well, Astral Authority became Tempo Storm, right? Or am I wrong about that?
Astral Authority went through like a complete roster shift at one point.
Okay. Well,
Like they had a roster, and then they dropped that, and then they picked somebody else up who I think ended up being Tempo Storm.
yeah. Well, I guess back to the whole Gale Force Esports thing is that Michael Udall is the since they don't have a coach, he is the leader, and when a team fails miserably, then it falls on him. So
Got to look at the leadership.
yeah,
He needs better glasses. Gunner needs to send him some new.
I think he just needs to play better.
Yeah.
Yeah, stop. Like yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Anyway,
they're
hopefully-
also all in their early 20s. So what are you gonna do? And then
Yeah.
all the
what
coaches-
about Fnatic?
immaturity?
all the coaches?
Fnatic is
they're-
like the
they-
same age.
I think GFE
yeah.
thinks they're better than they are because they're really not. They're pretty bad at team fighting. They just run their macro game and cheese strats, and if teams are able to compete with that, they lose to the team fights.
Yeah. So
I mean,
But,
it's like any other sports. Like you could draft a bunch of rookies, and then you can get lucky with them, or sometimes they're just
no.
they just turn out
So
to
the
be
thing is
bad.
that
because
okay, go for
what?
it.
Go ahead.
No, I mean like if I was like in any competitive landscape, if you see a team that's doing better than you, you try to figure out what they're doing, and then you try to copy it. Right? I mean, it's obvious that Dignitas and like Europe is just doing things way better. You would think that if I was roll 20, I'm like, oh look, what are they doing? I should just do whatever it is they're doing because I think that's going to help out.
Well, I
they're
think
successful.
individually, mechanically, the top players in NA and the top players in EU are kind of similar, but it's the teamwork that's lacking, and
Well, they have coaches. That's why.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
So-
it could
Yeah.
also be like the 1 in a million chance that these 5 guys just work well together. Like
I mean,
it could be
I
the
don't know.
perfect mix of personalities because, it just seems like Fan and Udall and those guys, they just have thick heads.
Well, I don't know. Maybe it's possible. I mean, but like
Thick butts.
like Europe. I mean,
Bucks.
like Europe, like all those teams are better. I mean, I don't think there's a special gene of cooperation that Europeans have that Americans don't have.
Americans are assholes. I'll tell you that right
Oh, yeah,
now.
no,
Being-
it's,
living abroad.
Yeah.
Americans are assholes.
Yeah, no. It's
That's the big problem we have here.
No, as someone who does Airbnb, like I miss very much getting European people staying at my house than Americans. So
Because they're awesome, right?
no, Europeans are
Great.
they're the best.
I know.
Yeah.
See, they get along. You
I
know,
hosted
they're
some guys from Brazil,
What?
and they were not fun to hang out with.
And
Well,
what the
That's Brazil.
and if we go into the Korea and China, and like it's the way you're brought up in the culture is to become a cog in the machine of society, and that's kind of like the whole viewpoint and how the culture and like it's just built. And in America, it seems like the culture likes individuality and everyone being a little special snowflake, and that is kind of reflected in the teamwork that and the drama of esports.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People don't
Because-
realize just because you're special doesn't mean you're useful.
Yeah.
I've worked in
that's our title.
I'm gonna use that at some point.
Just because
Yeah.
you're special doesn't mean you're useful.
Yeah. And also in regards to money, right? If Fnatic wins, that's $1 million or whatever, right? Or what?
Isn't it
I think
$1
$1 million
prize
is
pool?
the total prize.
It's half a
pool.
million,
yeah,
right?
it's-
Half a million
Yeah, they
bucks.
probably won $500,000. They might win $1 million throughout the year from all this.
Exactly. So hard work will pay off if you do it. So, you can't just be anyway. Fuck Gale Force. All right, let's move on. So,
Right.
okay, so this is a new segment called "What HEC/BlizzCon game are you looking forward to?" And this came from a listener. So obviously this is kind of like a bad time because the playoffs are over. But I'm actually looking forward for the Crucible. I'm looking forward to seeing how, if Playing Ducks, wherever their team is, wherever they're called now, if they can stay out of the Crucible and get back to the HEC, because I'm actually really curious to see how well they do next year with their new roles in the team. So I'm looking forward to that. So there you go.
I want to see if Lag F
Yeah.
has a change of heart, because it seemed like when their sponsor dropped them, the Ventic dropped them, it seemed like they got a lot better quickly. Now it was a little too late in their standings, but they've had a lot of close matches since then with more of the
actually,
top tier teams.
Yeah.
It's just I'm not like rooting for them because I think they've shown that they're lazy fucks and they kind of deserve to be in the Crucible, but I'm interested to see if they're gonna continue to grow because they seem like they're trying a little bit nowadays.
People will work harder to not lose something than to gain something.
Right.
So that's just human nature. So when they got dropped, it makes sense because now they're losing whatever money they were getting. Like, oh shit, fuck, we have no money now. So
You're like, Mom, hot pockets, please.
yeah, pretty much. So
Zex, don't you
right.
hate Lag F?
Yes, but I'm always conflicted when it comes Crucible time, because like they're my favorite villains. Like, or they're the team I have too much fun shitting on because they make it so easy. But I never want them to leave the HGC, because then my favorite punching bag will be gone, and then what the hell do I do with myself? Like, but I'm not so attached to them anymore because Team Freedom exists, and after that idiotic boss rush they tried at Western Clash, like I now just crap on them freely. Like I've taken laxatives and all that, and I'm just squatting over their faces at this point. Like,
Thanks for the imagery.
you are welcome. I enjoy making the image happen in everybody's minds with vivid
Thank you.
words.
It reminds me of the Randy Marsh shirt where he poops on New York.
Yes, there you go. Really, I'm more interested in seeing what happens at BlizzCon, because even Smexy admitted that Roll20 might be kind of good. So, and nobody from Fnatic has ever even remotely admitted anything out of NA is good, nor they should they. because nothing out of NA has been good since Cloud9.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Thank you. I love you.
So here's what I do think.
Yeah.
Okay. So Gale Force is going to disband.
They
Yes.
should.
Dunk Train's going to come out of retirement.
Doubt it.
Yeah.
What?
And it's gonna
you
be- I-
fucking
Yeah.
crazy.
And then they're going to bring back Cloud9. The band's going to get back together.
No.
But it'll be
No,
under
I-
Gale Force.
Oh God, that's awful.
They're
I-
they're not that good.
No,
Or
there
Dunk
is
makes too much
Cloud9.
money streaming.
The Cloud9 players aren't very good.
Yeah.
That or
Compared to nowadays.
Syracuse makes a return.
But so in regards to Roll20, maybe they are better. Maybe they are really good. But I mean, we'll know. Like after the end of October, we'll know because they face Dignitas and Tempest. So I mean, if they can get
Yeah.
out of there, they're a top 4 team. But
They got a really rough bracket.
Yeah.
That's like the toughest bracket.
Who's?
The bracket
Roll
roll 20s in. If they were in any other bracket, I think they'd make it out. This one, the Tempest is going to be rough.
I think
Gauge is rough.
I think Group C is actually the closest group out of all of them. I think all those teams except for Red Canids are playing like just out of their minds right now in their respective regions. Dignitas came roaring back after the break. Tempest are no slouches right now. Roll20 dropped one game that entire second half, or dropped one map that entire second half. That's just, but it was to even in death. So that's like minus 50 DKP right there.
so
Like
but-
the team, the group of death, honestly, in my opinion, is going to be Group A with a CE, MVP Black, and Tempo Storm in it. Like it's actually a battle for second. It's a battle
Well,
for second. It's
I mean, No, I mean,
CE is going to
CE
crush Tempo Storm.
Yeah,
Tempo
it
Storm's
seems
not
really
that
easy.
good.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think either B or D are the harder ones. No, it's D. D's the hard one, I think. Or I don't know. I forget now. Is it D?
Stop switching so often.
It'll be really, really interesting to between Expert and L5.
Oh, well, L5 is going to win, but I want
Yeah,
to see it,
but-
though.
Yeah.
Hero is asking in chat. Hero Physio is asking in chat. Is CA going to be full roster? Probably not.
Yeah, probably
Probably
Yeah,
not.
that's the thing.
one member's going to make it, and the 4 other Chinese teams are going to send in a sub.
No, we'll just find 4 Chinese dudes off the street and just play it.
Yeah, if they get their whole roster, they'll beat Tempo Storm and they'll
Yeah. But
They
they'll
might-
see
be good.
they'll see Bacon. Oh, you're Grandmaster of support. Okay, come on. We need another Asian guy. Come on.
But
We
I'm
need you.
Korean. It's okay.
Yeah, you're
it's
Asian.
okay.
It's
all the
okay.
You like fried rice? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I guarantee you, like Dreadnought Gluey would not know that there's a difference between you and them. I guarantee it.
Yo, I'll tape my eyes like this. That way I'm more chinky.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
I
So,
can say
but,
that because I'm Asian.
Yeah. Well, hey, this is it.
I
This is
already
basically-
already lived my life in widescreen, so it's okay.
No, this is the actually, you know what? This is the only minority podcast, actually, HOTS podcast. So,
Oh wait,
Yeah, that's
seriously?
true.
There's no other
no,
well,
they're all white.
predominantly Asian or predominant?
Yeah, they're all white dudes, man.
Yeah, they're all Scots.
Yeah, pretty much.
They're all Scots.
Well, actually,
Man,
trolls.
look at Zexerous, white dude.
Yeah, and like look, the Nexus trolls have one Asian guy, but that's about it. Everyone else is white.
Yep.
That is true. I
Seriously?
think.
Even the calm before the storm, they're all white dudes besides Bacon.
Yeah.
I gotta represent. I'll wear a taekwondo, a karate costume. That way.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Taekwondo.
And drape
You gotta-
a Korean flag on my back, and then start singing the Korean anthem.
Oh, wow.
I don't even think I know the words to the Korean anthem.
You could tell them you're from North Korea.
Ooh,
No.
No.
That was a wrong
That's-
time for me to put my headset back on.
yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Now, if he says that at BlizzCon, he's going to jail, guaranteed.
You've now been banned from r/Pyongyang.
And I like how
Yeah.
Seal
all right.
says, and the one Asian guy in the Nexus Trolls is the best player.
Yep. Mystics
Yeah, Mystics
Like,
is by far the best, I think.
master level. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also on this show.
But he's
Well, actually,
never
no,
been
no,
in Masters though.
Yeah.
He
can't
doesn't
say
play
master
Hero
level.
League.
Well,
He's never been in
he-
Masters though.
He's a master type player.
Master
No,
type.
he's always
Master, there's no master type.
he's always
You're in
play-
Masters or you're not.
All right. I admit Mystic's good, but he's always placed in Diamond 3, and then he doesn't play games for the rest of the season. And he's done that every season until now. And now, I want to see him get to Masters
You're going to call
before
him
he
out?
calls himself a Masters level.
He's
I'm
calling him out.
Yeah.
Call it out.
Oh.
He
What,
can play.
what happens if he does it? What are you going to do?
I'm going to say congratulations.
No. We need stakes. We need stakes.
I'll give him fried rice.
We need
God.
The best gift you can give an Asian.
I'll give him a gift card to Panda Express. And then I'll send that along with a picture of Chen and Lily. That way he has friends to eat with. I don't know.
Oh, jeez.
No, man, you need to give him like a Hooters gift card too.
Just send him some bamboo seeds.
What?
What do you even do with bamboo seeds? Do you eat them?
Grow some bamboo.
Grow some bamboo.
Grow some
All right.
bamboo.
All right. All right.
By the
so
way, was
do-
that
do-
racist? I don't think that was racist, right? I
No,
think
no,
that
no,
was
no.
fine.
You're Asian. You can't be racist. If Scott said it, it's
No.
racist.
No, here's the thing. Mystic's a great player, obviously. I've played with him a couple times. He's amazing. He just hasn't done it yet, though.
He's like a virgin.
He's
like-
unproven.
I'm calling him out.
untested.
I'm calling him out on a technicality.
Yeah. He's like a virgin. He's a master virgin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Okay.
he
To
might
get
place
in there.
higher than you.
What role does he play? Again?
I think he plays hard carry heroes.
Hard. Okay. So he'd be he could be out of position and stuff like that and draw enemies in for gank.
He's like a rapist.
No, no.
Gankbush
You
draw
might want
in.
you could. Wow, that's not where I was.
He'll hide in the corner. He'll hide in the corner, wait for them to pass by, and then come up behind them.
You could see
Yeah.
him
Drag him into your van in the bush.
Oh my god.
Oh, man,
man,
make yourselves
I was
disgusting.
going
What do you
for the
say?
masturbation joke. You guys took it to a dark spot on me.
Have you not listened to the show before?
Be careful with that.
In the Gankbush, we casually mention rape, so it's okay.
Yeah. Sponsor us, Blizzard. Please.
Yeah.
Give us some codes.
Why aren't we on the front page?
On the launcher. Yeah.
Yeah.
Put us on the launcher.
Oh,
Send us out to California with everyone else this weekend. Please.
oh yeah.
So do we have a win time moment this week or no?
All right, so here's the deal with the win time. All right, so Grizzly 64, he was a nice guy, and he sent me a replay. But in the replay, he says there is a win time moment in there somewhere where
I looked
Kelthas
at that replay. I didn't see any win.
So-
Go ahead.
So Kelthas and I are holding off a point, like 2v5. And then I looked at the replay. It's a 30-minute fucking game. He didn't tell me what timestamp to look at. So I went through the entire thing. I didn't know what he was talking about. So I'm saying, screw it. He's not getting a win time.
You gotta look
That's
at
a
like the
lose
last
time.
5 minutes. If it's
I
not in the
did.
last 5 minutes, it
I
doesn't
did.
count.
I went
It sounds
through
like it sounds like lost time for
Yeah.
Bacon.
Yeah.
Take the lose.
Take the lose on that.
Take the
time.
lose.
So,
The,
I still remember that from like 8 episodes ago.
the loss was splooshed all over my face. I had no choice.
all right. So lastly, so Zex, thank you again for lowering your standards and joining us this week. And so where can listeners find you again?
Once again, it is twitch.tv/BlizzPro Tuesday nights 10 p.m. Thursday nights at twitch.tv/Nexus Commentaries. Tomorrow 10 p.m. at that channel for the Cheer League Season 1 Grand Finals. DJ and P-Flame are going to be casting some sweet Heroes of the Dorm. Proving Grounds Sunday starting at 6 p.m. Eastern. And since there's no more HGC Open, I ain't doing shit on Monday.
Ah, and also you're on the Heroes Power Hour.
Yes, I am. That is the Blizzpro show.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a great time.
Guess Bacon. Yeah. All right. Let's go to Tara Baron.
And that's our show, and we'll see you in the Nexus.
All
Nice.
right. Peace
It
out,
only took
everybody.
about 80 episodes for him to do it consistently right.
Yeah, everyone blow ASAP. Now go. Jesus Christ.
He missed it. Last one was so much better.
He missed it.
That's the outro. We're good.
The miss on this stage.